Morning foodies! So Harvest Festival's finally here. Well, almost, but the brochure is out, which means I've been doing a bit of research in what events are going on and trying to give you a bit of information yourself, so you're not just reading this going, oh, what will I do? Now I did find this year it's got kind of a funny layout. It starts off with the events that are ending the whole thing. I find the colour a bit hard to follow as well, but maybe that's just me. So having read this, Harvest is 10 years old. I used to work for the market with regards to setting it up and actually working on stalls. It's kind of how I got so big into local food. And I'm really excited. 10 years, that just flew by. Harvest always had a very special place in my heart. I call it Foodie Christmas. So the events this year that I'm really buzzed about, I wrote it all down. First off, obviously the two events in La Boheme, the chameleon pop-up on the Sunday. That's €75 and it's all Indonesian food, but I was looking up the restaurant and it all looks absolutely gorgeous, so that's very exciting. I'll be going to that. Then we have on the Sunday as well, Keith Boyle down in the Bay Tree Bistro will be having his ending finale dinner, which will be €70, and that sounds unmissable as well. I can only do so many events. I've decided chameleon during the day on the Sunday, one event a day this year because my budget really won't go that far, but I'd love to be able to go to all of these things. They just sound amazing. Then the Friday we've got the Meze pop-up in Garter Lane, which is €30. Having followed Meze very closely since when they started in the markets, I find it really interesting how fast they've grown and their flatbreads and how well they're doing. I just think it's amazing. €30 is very good value as well. And afterwards there's a play in Garter Lane, so if you wanted to go to both those events, I think that's a really good way to do it. And I like the way that it's going to be in the courtyard, which is just a different thing to do altogether than being stuck in a restaurant. Then La Boheme will have just desserts at 6 p.m. or 8:45 on the Friday. That's 7 courses of desserts, all reworked to be a little bit special and different, using Eric's great ideas for €60, which is fantastic. Momo have a great idea as well. Camilla's a wonderful person and she's been revisiting her grandmother and her great-grandmother's cookbooks in order to give everyone a taste from home, and I think that's a really nice slant on things. Now I have to say Momos are very imaginative. Between the first ever pop-up food event in Waterford, realistically was between them and Philly Grimes, and I just think they really try to push the barrier of doing something different and they do it quite well. And Sunday brunch in the Granary. Now I went last year, which also led me to go to Christmas Eve brunch. It's €20, it's all you can eat event, and they literally don't stop feeding you, and everything is like freshly made. You've got croissants and sandwiches and fry-ups. Anything you could imagine being at brunch will be there. It's a really, really good event. For €20, definitely worth it. And if you're looking for a new Christmas Eve idea, that's what we do traditionally. Myself, Keanu's godmother, and Keanu, we go there and we have brunch together. Then Bellissimo is Saturday night. Unfortunately, I'm going to be working, so I'm missing Oliver's amazing dinner, which is €35, and it's called Taste of Waterford. Now I've been discussing ideas with him and what he seems to have planned is amazing, but I'm not going to give anything away. You guys have to go and find out for yourself. Everett's lunch on Saturday is a 3-course sparkling wine. You get 1 Prosecco on arrival and then 3 further sparkling wines to go along with each course. That's $45, which is incredible value for Everett's. I don't know if any of you guys have been there, but like whereas fine dining goes, it's pretty high up. I didn't have a single bite when I went for the early bird that I didn't absolutely devour or get complete flavour explosions from. I'd recommend going to Everett's, especially for this event. €45 is a really good value. I'm hoping to make that one, but I'm not entirely sure I will. Outside of that, Ballybricken's going to be re-vitalised. There's going to be a Ballybricken fair, so all the animals will be up there. The kids can play with the birds and all of that. You have Grow Your Own are going to have a few events on, and then one not to miss, the Sea Gardener. people are getting more and more into seaweed this year, which is brilliant to see. She started making slaughcorn, everything is starting to change and people are starting to go back to the olden ways. So she's given a few foraging classes so that the environment that the seaweed is in is not being destroyed as we're taking it, not knowing what we're doing. She's brilliant, fascinating person. If you get a chance to meet her for one of her talks or even go foraging with her, just take the plunge, it'd be great. And she sells amazing products. I remember a few years ago she was doing this black olive seaweed tapenade and it was absolutely gorgeous. Or maybe it wasn't a tapenade, maybe it was a sauce to go with pasta. Either way, it was beautiful and I used to love buying it, but I don't think she does it anymore. So we have the slaughcorn now, and she's got these little shaky things that have all the different seaweed in them for different things you could use them for, like thickening agents for gelatin, like instead of having in your jams, or you can have them for your baking, or she has one specially for stir fries or different foodie events. They're all written on it, and she's hoping to have recipes for all of those coming out soon, which is brilliant. But the Ballybricken Fair, yay! 2 events in La Boheme, not to miss. Momo's sounds absolutely delicious, as does Bellissimo and Everett's, and there's plenty more in here, but I just don't have 10 minutes to babble on about everything. Lots of beer events and gin events. I'm going to try keep it all to food this year, so that's what I'll be going for. And yes, I have so many events I want to go to, but it's near impossible. So there we are, guys. Harvest is nearly here. Start saving, make a few events, start booking now. I really think we're so lucky that Waterford takes us this seriously. It's such a magical event and it's going to be amazing this year. Happy 10th birthday, Harvest. Foodie Christmas. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully see you over Harvest. Yay!